join us, I think that I'll just start. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our first ever Coffee with a Cowgirl. I'm Brett Kruger. If you don't know, I reside in Lake Lillian, Minnesota with my husband Brandon and our two boys, Bodie and Bronson. Bodie's 12, soon to be 13, and Bronson is 9. Brandon and I, he's a professional horseman, and we've been involved in the horse industry our whole lives. I've recently quit my corporate 8 to 5. Last week was my last day, actually. Quit my corporate 8 to 5. I've been in the corporate world for the last 16 years. I've worked for some great companies. I've met a ton of really good people, and I've learned a lot of really good things. But I felt like it was time to follow my heart and the things that God was telling me and start my own journey on my own, which is follow my passion for cowgirls and empowering them and bringing them a positive message, inspiring them to be more, create more. I feel like part of the reason that I got on this journey is because I was kind of in a rut and stuck in life, which may be hard for some of you to believe, because I think that you can paint any picture that you want on social media and you can make things look great, but I think that we all have our own struggles. Sometimes you don't see those struggles, and that happened to me after becoming a mom, because I had to live a different life than I'd ever lived before. And I loved being a mom, but when I became a mom, I took on a whole new set of responsibilities, and I was afraid. I'd never been afraid before in my life, but I was afraid to leave my kids because I love them so much, and I just couldn't imagine being without them. And so then I kind of lost who I was. My identity had always been a cowgirl, and I lost that identity a little bit just because of my new role as a mom. I'd never worn that hat before. I'd always worn this one. And so it took me a few years to find that back and find myself back. And I did that just by getting back on the horse. And just a second here. Yay. Anyway, I went out one weekend by myself. Hi, Jackie.
Hi. Thank you, everyone.
So I did that by going to a horse show and by myself and just reconnecting with my horse and finding my confidence back. And on the way back home that night, I thought to myself, I'm so glad that I did that. I've done horses my whole life, and for some reason, I didn't think that I could do it anymore. And it just gave me the confidence and the courage that I need to push forward. And I knew at that point that if I felt like that, there were so many other women that feel or felt like that too. So I wanted to give back to them and be the person or the voice who teaches them how to find their love or reconnect with their cowgirl or the hat that they used to wear, and no matter what that may look like. So along that journey, I started listening to podcasts, and I didn't just start listening to one or two of them. I became obsessed with them because, as you know, this world is just so full of negativity, and if you listen to negative thoughts on a daily basis, that's ultimately who you become. And so I needed to find some positivity in my life, and I turned to those, just looking for a positive message on a daily basis. And the next thing I know, I was like eyeballs deep in podcasts and listening to motivational people speak. And that ultimately pushed me to want to do more, be more, and change my whole train of thought around. So this was born, Coffee with the Cowgirl, and it has to be on Facebook Live because at this point I don't know how to have a podcast. So we're going to start with what we know. And I'm super excited for our first ever Coffee with a Cowgirl guest, Jackie Todd. Jackie and I have worked together for the last 5 years. I would say, wouldn't you, Jackie?
Yes, I think it's been longer, but feels
Longer,
like it's
yeah.
longer.
Time goes fast. So Jackie and I have worked in the animal health distribution industry together for the last 5 years plus. And Jackie's a brand representative for a company called Agri Sales, and she reps a lot of the hottest grooming products out there. Mane and Tail, Cowboy Magic, Exhibitor. She reps for Vetericyn, she reps for Miller. Just a lot of the products that we all use on a daily basis and that we all know. So I thought that it would be fun, since we have an upcoming event in Nevis, April 30th and May 1st. Jackie's going to be a gold sponsor or platinum sponsor there, actually. And I thought it'd be fun to have Jackie on today to not only tell us about her product, but tell us about her journey on becoming the cowgirl that she wants to be, because I think that that looks so different for everybody. There's more cowgirls who have dreamt, there are more cowgirls who have dreamt about being a cowgirl since they were such a little girl. And I think what we have in our head and what it becomes because of the paths that we take in life looks different for all of us. So Jackie, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey on becoming the cowgirl that you are today and what that looks like for you.
Well, thank you, Breck. I am super excited to be here today. And just so everybody knows, I did have to switch to the phone. So if I appear shaky, apparently I may have had too much coffee.
Jackie, I just have to interrupt. I had my favorite little neighbor girl brought me this little stand thing with a light around it. I don't even know what it is. I mean, I'm technology. I have no idea. It's the most amazing thing. I don't even have to hold my phone. And it's
really?
just there.
Oh my goodness, that sounds awesome. So well, here I thought I could do it from my computer, so I didn't realize that wasn't an option. But learning lessons today for future interviews for tomorrow. So a little bit about myself. I have been a cowgirl since day one. I was fortunate enough to be born with a family that had horses, critters and cows and goats and sheep and the whole kit and caboodle. And so horses have been deeply rooted in my lifestyle from day one. There's a rumor that floats around my family that I may have gotten bucked off before I could walk. And anybody who knows me says that that could have something to do with my accident proneness. But that didn't stop me. I've done a little bit of everything and in between when it comes to the animal industry. I started my career working in the veterinarian hospitals as a certified veterinarian technician and found a passion working with just animals and people in general. And that really progressed into more, where I switched gears and went into distribution, and then found a calling when it came to manufacturing sales rep like I am today. And there is something to be said when you can work for a company and represent products that you've been using since you were a little girl. Like that to me speaks volumes, you know, and I try my best all the time to give back 110-fold, because when I was a little girl, that's what meant so much to me. And you know what a cowgirl looks like can be different for every single person. And it kind of reminds me of when I lived in the Twin Cities for so long. I felt like I had lost my roots to my farm and my home and my community. And even though I was that cowgirl, somewhere she was just kind of, she didn't know where she was. And it wasn't until I moved back to where I was from, kind of like rural central Minnesota, that I had a chance to experience all those things again, that really made me who I was. And now, being a parent, like you described, Breck, um, my little boy and I get a chance to share that equine experience. And I'm excited to share that with an extended family as well that's always growing. So whether it be the 4-Hers or the neighbor kids or my significant other's boys or even the kids down the road, anybody that I can give them an opportunity to share just what I have been so fortunate to have. It just makes everything worthwhile, honestly.
Think that's what it's all about too. And another thing, I mean, you are a single mom too, right, Jackie?
Yeah, yep.
So a whole new, I mean, because I just think that there's so many women who struggle with how you keep all of the balls. Being a single mom, living that dream with your horse still, because you do have a horse. I think his name is Chip, right?
Dexter, actually. Dexter and Tika. I have 2 horses.
Yeah.
They,
And those competes, you still, oh, you do compete,
yes,
but
I do.
you go
Yep.
out and enjoy your horse on
It
a daily
is.
basis.
It's a whole new ball game. I'm super excited. You know, I'll be my single status is changing, and I'm just growing in my family with my significant other. So I have a pretty strong support system, which a lot of single moms don't. And that's a shout out to my parents, my sister, my closest friends, everybody. Like, we are just, you know, without them, I don't know how I could do what I do. And I'll tell you a little story. This wasn't even part of anything we were going to talk about. I participated in my first horse show with my son by myself, like overnight one, like a big one, right? And I'll tell you, I forgot stuff and I was anxious in the hotel and I couldn't get him awake, and we showed and the show went on till like 10 o'clock, and it was fun and it was exciting and I was exhausted, and then I was telling my dad about it and he's like, "What are you talking about? I used to do that all the time with you 2 girls," because he was a single dad. And it just made me laugh because I hadn't really thought of that, you know, like here I am trying to do this on my own, or even that day on my own, let's say.
Yeah.
And there are so many that, like, my father gave me that opportunity so early on to be that cowgirl. So it's a conversation I'll never forget anyways.
You know, when everything goes perfectly, those moments you kind of you remember, but you, I don't know, they just kind of pass, I guess. But when it's an absolute shit show, you always and you always laugh about them, and that you and your son will remember for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Jackie, for all of that. So let's talk a little bit about company that you work for today, Agri Sales, and what you do for them.
Yep. So what's really unique is that I am manufacturing sales rep, so I get an opportunity to rep a lot of really awesome world-class agricultural products. I mean, the list goes on, but some of the equine ones that jump out at me are Cowboy Magic, Exhibitor, Mane and Tail, Vetericyn, Animed. We do Country Vet. We also do Stone, which has Shoe Fly, which a lot of our barrel race people are very familiar with. And in Miller Manufacturing, I mean, who doesn't know what a pitchfork looks like when it comes to being in the barn? So then that's what I meant by it's just so amazing that I have an opportunity to rep all these companies that I've been using since I was little. And what it does for me is it gives me a chance to give back, because we have, well, especially post-COVID, when we're doing this event live on social media, I would have been at a consumer event at a store handing out, product and talking with people and just, getting to know everybody and thanking them for their business. And here we are online, So the business retail industry and what makes our jobs even more challenging today has changed so much that it's given us new light. So, and that's one of the things that's so unique about what I can do. My hope and my, you know, what I'm excited for in the future is that normalcy does come back, but events like this where I can help not only the distributor, the retailer, and then the consumer, like all of us cowboys and cowgirls who might be tuned in right now, share stories and essentially learn about some new things that you might not have seen before. So that's what makes my job really unique. And yeah, there's, you know, there's the short end and the long end of every single job that we work with, but that's what I try to always focus on, is what makes what I can do so unique and why I do it every day. So
you talking about COVID, Jackie, and the way that we do business today, and how I know that COVID was extremely tough for a lot of people, and definitely something that we've never lived through in any of our lifetimes, you know, a national pandemic like that. But for me, I just took so many good things away from the life change that COVID brought, because I just personally felt like it was God telling us that you guys are just all so busy and I'm gonna make you slow down. And that's how he did it through COVID. But the cool thing about COVID is we all had to learn to do business in such a different way and connect with our customers and our people. I loved it. I still love it. I think that it's so awesome that Joe is in Florida driving down the road right now, hopefully has his phone on hands-free and is watching us. I think it's so cool that we can connect as a community from the comforts of our home. I think it's awesome. I mean, before last year, these 12 months, I mean, we didn't really know how to do this thing where we're together at the same thing this morning, but we definitely wouldn't have known about this 12 months ago. So the fact that we got it figured out, we're doing it, is really cool. Tell us one unique thing about you, Jackie, that people may not know.
So I'm not sure where I find the time, but I find it. I am also a beekeeper. I am a mom to chickens. I do maple syruping, and well, let's throw in Frank. I have a talking parrot. He's not in the room, obviously.
I don't. I knew all about you, and I find it very unique, and I think it's so cool that you take the time to learn and embrace all of those things, and you also teach your son about all of the good there is in life and how to enjoy the outdoors. So I think that's really cool. Let's talk about product. I know that at the Top Hand Cowgirl Challenge, you're going to be there along with some friends, which we're super excited about, and you're going to be doing some really fun things. And I think, can we share a little bit about that before we talk about product, what you're going to do?
Yeah. So Breck and I had this really awesome idea to like say semi-sponsor the wash stall. So I'm going to leave a variety of mane and tail, Cowboy Magic, and exhibitor products in the wash stall for free for everybody to use. And then in addition, I'm putting together some shine boxes. So my idea behind it is it'll have a tote, like a grooming tote, and then it'll include some of the best shine products. So you can either find me or come to the table. I will be there early too, because I know a lot of people like to groom and prep their horses early on Fridays. So my plan is to be there early, and if you want to grab those boxes per se and use them on your horse or any of the other live samples that I have, just visit my table, and that'll give you an opportunity to get a first-hand look at some products that you might not have even ever seen. Some of them are very new, and I have a chance to use everything, so I know the ins and outs to some of the shampoos and conditioners and the shines. So it'll be a really fun way to get your hands on some things that you might not have seen before. So in addition to samples and goodie baskets and everything else that I'm bringing along. So
Way cool, Jackie. Now, one of my favorite lines that you rep is Cowboy Magic. Like, in my very unorganized tack room and my very unorganized groom bag that I have to that's something that you don't find me without. I love Cowboy Magic. And our horses' tails are complete mess all the time. So before I brush, almost on an every other day basis, before I brush tails, that's what I use. It's my go-to product. Love it. Talk about the Cowboy Magic line and what your favorite product is.
Well, you're talking about several Cowboy Magic products, but the detangler one, which is what rings a bell. This is the little guy that everybody has. And what I like about it is just such a small amount goes such a long ways, and especially with those really nasty snarls. Like, we have those big burrs in our paddock, and they get in my horse's tail, and I'll have to spend like 30 minutes brushing them out just to get them out. So that, by far, that's a top product when it comes to my grooming box. I love the shampoo and conditioner because the rose water is just such a incredible scent, and it gives my horse such a nice all-around gloss and shine when it comes to shampooing and conditioning. But I want to share something new that most people haven't seen yet. This is Cowgirl Magic. It's by the Cowboy Magic line, and it is for women. Well, it's for women and men. It is a lotion for us. So when you need, that little bit of extra help, that being a cowgirl, that cowgirl magic really helps. So
Jackie, the Cowgirl Magic is a lotion
for women and men. Yep. So it's not for equine. It's like totally left field, something new that they're doing, but it has that rose water. And what I like about it is it's ultra hydrating, and we're using so much hand sanitation products right now that it doesn't make my hands slimy. And some of the ladies that I've tried this product with who are sensitive to other perfumes and lotions really like this one. So everybody that can join or come by will be getting samples of this product, because I've made sure to plan for plenty. So
Jackie, though, that is new, right?
This is new. Yep, you will find this in several retailers already, though.
Because they've never had a lotion before, have they?
No. Well, we have. So we have the Hoofmaker, and the Hoofmaker and the pump, and then that is by Mane and Tail brand. Yes. And we also sell it in that really nice little purse size, that 1 ounce one that you'll find at a lot of retail counter stores. That one is known because it's kind of a crossover between rebuilding the hoof and strengthening those hoof tissues. And it was just kind of something we learned that was really good for hands as well. And I use both regularly. I just really like the smell and the consistency of this one on my hands. So,
Teal, I mean, that brand has been around for years.
For years and years and years and years and years.
So yep. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the Mane and Tail because people use it on themselves. It's not uncommon for somebody to use it on themselves. And but the Hoofmaker, that one is that one your favorite Mane and Tail product?
Probably not anymore. I always used to use Mane and Tail original shampoo and conditioner on my own hair, and you will see that in a lot of places where ladies are using it. Yeah. But as far as my horses go, this one up here, which is the Ultimate Gloss, this is my go-to when I don't want to use extra product, because the shine and the consistency of that all over gloss on the body is just really, really awesome. And this is new. This one is new too. So it's in a lot of stores already, though. It was this was a new formulation for additional gloss to really make that coat pop. So
is that when you're giving away, Jackie?
These ones?
Yeah,
I have
the
little
shine.
samples. Yep, I have little samples, and then you're getting these for prize baskets as well.
Way cool.
So yeah, we're gonna have lots of product there to really make sure everybody gets an opportunity to try things, because there's a lot of new stuff that well, you might have seen it, but you pass over because you're not sure, how it works, or
there's so many options on today's market.
yeah.
Well, like exhibitor is well, it's been around for a long time.
Yep, Exhibitor is also in that family of brands, and that is a newer acquisition from Straight Arrow. But what Exhibitor is it really brings out the performance in your horse. So when I think of Exhibitor, I think of color-coded shampoos. Those are my go-tos. So I am that person in the wash stall who spends an hour with her bae because she has a purple shampoo, she has a black shampoo, and she has a red shampoo, and it works.
Exhibitor line is very color specific, so it's bringing out the
it's bringing out all the highlights in the coat. Yeah. And even in the dog industry, like all your dogs with your white points, they will use a white purple shampoo that brings out the white. Yeah, on those animals before show. And, a little goes a long way with these products, which is why when I do my bay, I make sure to only use these on his socks and on his blaze, and then I use the black on his mane and his tail, because I just love how that extra, especially when he's fading, because a bay will fade in the summer. The quick color will help with that, bring back that restoration of the coat and really make him shine. So there is actually a different product that I really want to touch base on Exhibitor, because it's one of those little known secrets, especially in the English performance world. It is Quick Braid, and I know I have given this one to you, Breck. This is my version of a description. This is liquid hairspray. This stuff is incredible. If you put this on a braid, it will not move. If you put this on banding, it won't go anywhere. If you're a lady and you like to try everything on yourself, you put this on when it's wet, and it makes your hair so crunchy and cool, and my curls stay. This stuff is awesome.
On yourself.
Yeah. Well, you know me, Breck. I try everything on myself before it goes on my horse.
We love comments. We love feedback. So if you have any questions for Jackie or even myself, please interact with us. It makes this a lot more enjoyable and fun. So let us know if you have any comments or questions. Sorry, Jackie.
No, that's okay. And if there's any of the other products, I kind of just brought out the best of what I'm familiar with when it comes to the Mane and Tail Cowboy Magic and Exhibitor line. We have lots of other things that really give that performance person, or even that backyard hobbyist. With people being home, I think we're kind of spending more time on our horses. And even myself, with my older mare shedding so badly right now, because she's almost 25, I use more detangler on her to help get those mats out of her coat. And some things like even the Super Body Shine can help, or the Mane and Tail Detangler can help with other aspects of grooming versus just shampoo, or just when we get ready for a show.
Jackie, about shampoo for a red roan?
So with the red, and you're talking like a speckled, more of a traditional red roan pattern, I would recommend the gloss, this one up here, because with the color-coded shampoos, you don't want them to appear faded. If you're just using like the Quicksilver, which is for white or gray horses, it'll still work really well on your roans, but the gloss is going to give you more all-around color when it comes, or more all-around shine and color when it comes to shampooing. So And please remember, these are all my personal recommendations.
Jan Rooney says that she loves your sliding A wild ray. She's a cowgirl boss babe. Linda Shively says, I'm buying some of your product.
Woohoo!
Well, it's fun to just chat, educate people in a fun new way, and light and experience. It's so cool that you could join us today, Jackie. And I love your story of being a single mom and living your dream as the cowgirl that you want to be. You're doing it, definitely. You are an amazing woman and an amazing cowgirl boss babe. And we thank you for joining us today. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this opportunity. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody either at the event or online. Feel free to find me on Facebook, ask questions. I'm happy to help. And just remember, I think one of the things we need to remember is that a cowgirl or boy, cowboy or cowgirl, looks different to every person, and any way that we can do more for each other, it is really what it's about. So.
I agree. I think that, yeah, I mean, it's some people think that they're not good enough. They want to be the cowgirl, but they're not good enough. And I don't think that there's enough avenues or venues for those people who need that confidence. And, you know, at Top Hand Cowgirl, that is what we're trying to create, be it at a horse show, be it at an online community, whatever. I mean, we're just really trying to create a safe space for people to get out there and live their dreams and be the person they can be. Thank you again, Jackie. Before we wrap up, I do just talk about our event that is coming up in Nevis at Straight Rail Ranch. We've got so many fun things planned. It's going to be crazy. If you have not gotten your payments in for your spot, please do. We're just trying to wrap up getting our final prizes. If you guys get those to us so we know how many people to expect, it helps us stay organized and produce the best that we can for you. Also, our buckles are ordered and on the way. We're so excited. We are working with a Cut Above Buckles. They do an amazing job. We've got sweatshirts and t-shirts, new styles for Top Hand Cowgirl. Super excited to bring those to you. I know that a lot of you guys talked about wanting a clinic. I'm going to be doing one Friday morning from 8 until noon. It's $150. We're going to work on ranch pleasure, ranch cutting, and ranch sorting. Cowgirl attire at the event, because we know that you want to wear your cowgirl hat, but you're just too scared to do it. So do it for us. The other thing is sorting. I've had a lot of questions about sorting, ranch sorting for the girls, who they can use as a partner. You can use any girl that you want to, as long as that girl is in the competition. If you don't know a girl there, or you're new and you're afraid to ask somebody, come ask me and I'll help you find the person to ride with. Love doing that. We have a judge, Mike Smith. We're pretty excited about that. He's from Moorhead, Minnesota. Super excited to have him. I think he's going to do a great job. Working with Iron Horse again, because we want to have a good time while we're there, and we want a safe ride to and from the ranch to the bar, because that's important. Above all else, it doesn't matter how you do that weekend, but if you have fun, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're about. We want to show you guys a good time. So if you don't have a room yet and you need a room, there's a little motel in Nevis that's nice. That's where I'll be staying. That does have some availability as of last Saturday. So make sure it doesn't have any availability.
No, Park Rapids.
Is it both?
Both places are full in Nevis. Both places. Sorry, just throwing it out there.
Well, that's odd.
Come
well,
stay with me in Park
I want to
Rapids.
support their business.
Mm-hmm.
trying to think of what else that we need to talk about for the Cowgirl deal. We're just super excited. We hope that you guys had a great time today and that you enjoyed Jackie and I's conversation in our first ever Coffee with a Cowgirl. I hope that you are able to join us next week at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Ooh, hi Jan, there is hookups there. Hookups available. If you haven't got your stall or hookup reserved, call Dylan at Straight Rail Ranch. His number is on all of our show flyers, show information, and if you can't find it on there, let me know and I'll help get that to you. But we hope that you're able to join us next week at 10. I'll let you know who we'll be talking to next week soon. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Stay safe and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
And Jackie.